There are places on this earth that do not seem to belong to it, places where the light falls differently, where the ground holds colors that feel borrowed from another world, where science and beauty arrive at the same moment and leave you uncertain of what you are actually seeing. These are not illusions. They are not simulations. They are real landscapes shaped by real forces: biology, geology, chemistry, and time. And yet, standing within them, the mind struggles to accept what the eyes are reporting. This is Earth, and some of it still looks like a dream. Number 1. The Wave, Arizona, USA. In the high desert of northern Arizona, near the Utah border, there is a formation that the human brain is not entirely prepared to process. It is called the wave. At first glance, it appears to be a photograph with the exposure blurred, or a painting made by someone who could not decide between stone and water. The rock layers curl and fold into one another with a fluidity that stone is not supposed to have, and yet it is entirely real. The wave is composed of Navajo sandstone, ancient dunes that were deposited here approximately 190 million years ago, during the Jurassic period. Over time, groundwater moved through these layers at different rates, dissolving iron oxide in some places and concentrating it in others. The result is a gradient of color: deep orange, pale cream, soft rose, faint lavender, all flowing through the same piece of rock. The undulating shapes were carved by wind and water erosion over millions of years, following the original contours of those ancient dunes. What we are looking at is the preserved memory of a desert that existed before the dinosaurs were gone. Each stripe in the rock is a layer of time, bent and smoothed into something that feels almost decorative. Only 20 people are permitted to visit each day. The permit system exists not to create exclusivity, but to protect a surface so delicate that repeated footsteps can cause permanent damage. To walk through the wave is to move through geological time as if it were a physical space. Number 2. Dalal, Ethiopia. In the Danakil Depression of northern Ethiopia lies one of the most hostile environments on the surface of this planet. It is also one of the most colorful. Dalal sits more than 100 meters below sea level. Surface temperatures regularly exceed 45 degrees Celsius. The air carries the sharp scent of sulfur. The ground in many places is acidic enough to dissolve skin. And yet, the landscape looks like something assembled by an artist working without restraint. Pools of neon yellow, electric green, and deep rust orange sit side by side, separated by thin ridges of crystallized salt. Towers of mineral deposit rise from the surface, delicate, porous structures that look almost like coral, but are composed of potassium and salt laid down by hydrothermal activity. Beneath Dalal, magma chambers heat groundwater that then rises through the earth, dissolving minerals along the way. When this superheated, mineral-rich water reaches the surface, it cools and the minerals precipitate out, forming the structures and the vivid color gradients visible across the landscape. The colors are not decorative, they are chemical. Each hue corresponds to a specific mineral compound or concentration of acid: green from chloride minerals, yellow from sulfur, white from salt, brown and orange from iron compounds oxidized by contact with air. Dalal is classified as one of the least habitable places on Earth. And yet, in 2019, scientists discovered microorganisms living within its most acidic pools, suggesting that life, when given enough time, finds a way even here. The landscape looks alien. In many ways, it behaves like one. Number 3. Diatvlei, Namibia. There are landscapes that feel ancient. And then there is Deadvalley. Located within the Namib-Naukluft National Park in Namibia, this place presents a combination of visual elements so stark and so precise that it looks, more than anywhere else on Earth, like a painting. White ground, black trees, orange dunes, blue sky, 4 colors, arranged with complete deliberateness, no gradients, no compromise. The name itself, Deadvalley, means, in Afrikaans, dead marsh. Around 900 years ago, this depression was fed by a river. Camel thorn trees grew here, drawing water from the ground. Then the climate shifted. Sand dunes migrated and blocked the river's path. The water disappeared. The trees died, but they did not decompose. The air here is so dry and the sun so intense that the wood has been baked rather than rotted. For approximately 900 years, these same trees have stood in this same place, preserved by the very conditions that killed them. They are not fossilized. They are simply dried, suspended. The white clay floor of the pan reflects sunlight so intensely that photography here becomes technically challenging. The orange dunes, some reaching 300 meters in height, are among the oldest in the world, their color deepening over millions of years as iron within the sand oxidizes, slowly, like rust, on a very long scale. There are no sounds here that do not belong to the desert, no movement that is not the wind. Deadvalley is a place where time appears to have stopped, and then, somehow, chosen to stay. Three landscapes, 3 entirely different mechanisms: bioluminescence, erosion, geothermal chemistry, and the slow work of climate and time. And yet each one produces the same effect: a quiet disruption of certainty. A moment where the eyes receive information the mind is not quite ready to categorize. We spend a great deal of time looking outward, scanning distant planets for signs of strangeness, for terrain that might suggest another kind of world. But Earth has not finished revealing itself. In a glowing shoreline at midnight, in the folded memory of a Jurassic dune, in a pool of acid that somehow sustains life, in the preserved silhouette of a tree that died 9 centuries ago and still has not fallen. These places exist. They are not exaggerations. They are coordinates on a map, and they are waiting, with remarkable patience, to be seen.